It's recording.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
episode, what is it, 5?
Five. Five.
Damn, it's been 5 weeks already.
Jeez, time flies.
All right. So, welcome back. We got another scintillating episode for you today. This one is not this one is not as serious as last one's going to be. I think we talked about the Chicago Blackhawks situation in huge, pretty in-depth detail in our last episode. Not gonna lie, I think we did a pretty good job of covering the whole thing front to back. And right now, it's on Spotify, anywhere you listen to your podcast. If you want to get caught up on the entire situation, please listen to that. But today we're going to branch out into non-Blackhawk stuff. I think we'll kick off this show with 2 or 3 minutes briefly on what the most recent findings were, the most recent things about the Blackhawks case is, and then we'll jump into the Eichel situation. And then if we had time, we'll talk about the Leafs. But there's not really much to talk about the Leafs, to be honest with you. They're okay.
Yep.
So, did you want to say anything before I jump into the Hawks?
Not really. I know you said you had a couple of things you want to talk about in regards to the Blackhawks investigation, so I'll let you kick that off, and I can kind of give you my. We can kind of just have a quick discussion about the stuff you want to bring up. So.
Okay. So, I made a note over here. I'm not going to forget this. I think in the last episode, I also said something that was a little insensitive. I'm not going to go into exactly what it was. It was like a sudden blurt out while I was talking about the Blackhawks. I was getting frustrated at times. And I think we were both laughing at stuff. Trust me, it wasn't like out of a place of like ignorance or anything.
I think I know. I think I know where. I think I know what you're talking about. And look,
Yeah.
it's yeah. I'll let you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'll let you go on.
Yeah. So I apologize for that. I'll be better at choosing my words next time. But yeah, we were just getting frustrated with everything. So we were finding stuff a little hard to believe. And then I guess it just came out of my mouth. But anyway, I will be better.
Yeah. I don't. I can definitely understand. Sorry, knowing you a bit better than what some other people listening may. I know that you definitely didn't mean it in any type of
Yeah.
like. It wasn't intended to be any like a verbal attack on anyone. It was more so like again like stuff like as difficult as it is to say. Sorry, it's difficult as stuff slips out sometimes. Whether it's like
Yeah.
appropriate or not. And like again, I'm not saying I condone. I'm sorry, I don't support. Anyways,
Yeah.
we know what you mean. I know what you mean. I think it's good that you pointed it out and you kind of clarified things because again, I think especially with a situation like that, it can be kind of taken the wrong way if not like sorry. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've since edited that portion out. But yeah, it's good to be careful with your words whenever you're talking about stuff like that.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep. 100%.
so I think since then, I've seen some more discussion online, some more articles posted about the Bettman and the Bill Daly conference. One of the things that I noted down since last week was, I think during that conference, or this might have been a post after the conference, Bettman released a statement or made a statement saying basically anyone who has been abused through sexual assault in the NHL, they can reach out to him or Bill Daly directly. Like they're basically extending themselves as the crisis hotline sort of stuff. My note on that is that's absolute bullshit. Like, okay, cool. But after that conference that you just had last week,
Yeah.
which NHL player do you think is confident to talk to you?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what you said, why do you think people would want to talk to you? You seem completely emotionally unintelligent about everything. So, like, why? Why are you extending yourself? I don't understand why that was what he said, but I just found that a little ridiculous and stupid. But it's Gary Bettman. I don't expect much from him now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. Again, I think it's a bit more of a PR thing. If he doesn't like again, like I think he's just trying to at least to some extent try to save face, even though I think in the eyes of in the eyes of a lot of the fans, everyone can kind of see right through it. I think everyone knows that look like he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
But like it's just it's it's just media. It's fake. Like it's kind
Yeah,
of what the NHL is turning to nowadays, unfortunately.
they do not give a shit. And I was thinking about like how can you even fire Gary Bettman? Like, is that even a thing that you can do? And I think you need a certain number of owners from the league to not support his current position, and then he can be fired, right?
Mm,
I think you need at least 8 of the 32 in order for him to stay. Like eight
yeah.
of the 32 have to support his position. But if less than 8 support it, then you can fire him, something like that. Either way, in my opinion, this guy's, how long has he been the commissioner of the league? Like 30
A
years?
long while. A while. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not okay. And you can just tell
Yeah.
from the interviews that he had recently, this guy is outdated. Same with Bill Daly as well. And after a certain point in time, you just have to understand yourself that maybe time has just passed you. You're a dinosaur. You don't understand the current like way to handle yourself in situations like these. I feel like the interview that he conducted with Bill Daly last week would have been okay if it was like 30 years ago. But that's not the way you handle
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
now.
I don't know. Yeah.
And there was a portion of that conference where I think they talked about Akeem Aliu for a little bit.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Around, yeah. So I think Akeem Aliu's the situation around that is that investigation is still going on, and the
Not
league,
according to the league.
I think Bill Daly said that he has been in contact with the agent recently regarding recent updates on Akeem Aliu, and then the
Mm-hmm.
agent tweeted out after the
Yep.
conference saying that's
Yep.
news to me.
Mm-hmm.
So just
Well,
straight
no.
up lying. That's what they're doing now.
Yeah. Well, I think what the quote was that we've completed the investigation and we are in contact with Akeem and his representatives to determine what the next steps are. And then yeah, the agent came out and said, "No, you're not."
Yeah,
Like this is where we're at. Like it's just I'm not surprised at any of this stuff anymore. To be honest with you, it's embarrassing, really. Like man, it's they're grade school kids. Like you got caught, like you got in trouble, so you're just lying to try to get out of trouble, but it's not helping you, dude. Like
yeah.
anyways.
And then one last thing I want to quickly touch on.
Mhm.
So Duncan Keith, this guy said recently that he was not interviewed. He would have helped to contribute to this entire Blackhawks case, but he just wasn't interviewed. That was his wording. A few months ago, if you guys remember, Duncan Keith rejected an interview. He didn't want to get involved with it, but recently he said he wasn't interviewed. So now he's essentially lying. Like he's turning his words around in a way to make it seem as if he wanted to do the interview, but he just wasn't given the opportunity to. That's a fucking lie. He declined it. This is his fault. And now he's acting like he wasn't. So I just have one thing to say about Duncan Keith. He came into Edmonton to, what is it, like be the leadership guy to set the example because he's like a grizzled veteran now from the Blackhawks. Yeah, no, sorry, Duncan. No. Like, first of all, you had the vaccine situation. Say what you want. You're not getting a vaccine. I don't sympathize with you. I don't like you if you don't get the vaccine. You didn't get it. He got it later on, whatever. But then now he's trying to set an example for the Edmonton Oilers by pulling this shit. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, if you want to contribute to the case, it's never too late. And I said this last episode as well. You can go right now, go to Jenner and Block, go to the Blackhawks, go to Kyle Beach and apologize and tell him everything you know. It's never fucking late. But these guys just want to hide behind their asses. God, I hate Taze, Kane, Keith, everyone right now so much. Like they're nothing in my eyes right now. Just scum.
You're not alone. That's everyone. Like yeah, Duncan Keith. I I think it's tough. Sorry, it's not tough. Like he came from a market in Chicago where, again, say what you will, hockey's not quite as big in the States. And he comes over to a Canadian team where it's obviously a lot bigger. And I think that's part of the reason why he, at least early on in the season, a lot of the stuff has kind of come to light. The thing with the not getting vaccinated, the quotes with during the when the results were when they were reporting the findings of the Jenner and Block investigation. It's just like I think we're just really finding out who Duncan Keith is, unfortunately. Sorry, not even unfortunately. We're just finding out who Duncan Keith really is. Again, he's a really he's past his prime. He was a really good defender, a really good defenseman for a couple of years in the NHL. Won a Conn Smythe Trophy for an absolutely ridiculous Stanley Cup final run, but that's not all that matters. Like, and I think that's what we're trying to kind of show here is that like the NHL and their players do not care about the kid. It's like it's hockey culture. It's just players trying to do whatever they can to win and at literally all costs, all of them. Like, and it's again, and it's just disappointing to see time and time again, like even in different organizations nowadays, that this keeps coming up. And until we have a culture change, and again, I think that starts with a change at the top with Gary Bettman and Bill Daly. I think this thing that's gonna keep happening. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Change needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's all I wanted to talk about the Hawks. Do you want to kick things off with the Eichel situation? Hard right turn, obviously, but
yeah. So big move, big move. I think you called this actually. Jack Eichel is now a Vegas Golden Knight. I didn't see that coming. Oh, sorry, I didn't think that was going to happen, or I didn't think he was going to go to Vegas. I believe it was for Alex Tuck, top prospect Peyton Krebs, a first-round pick, and I believe a fourth-round pick for Jack Eichel and a third, I believe. Wow, like just wow. And there's a couple different steps that are a couple different levels that we can analyze this on. I'm going to start off by saying this: the Buffalo Sabres got absolutely fleeced in this deal.
Mm-hmm.
Fleeced because, okay, again, you can talk about him being damaged goods. You can talk about him being potentially someone who I think people are now starting to wonder if he's really a leader for this is he really a leader, or is he just a really good hockey player? I counter that with except they like in other situations like this, I might agree. In other situations that kind of play out the way the Jack Eichel one did, where the player sits out, like he's not, like he probably could play, but this is a situation where the Buffalo Sabres just were trying to make the decision on which surgery Jack Eichel got. And for those of you who aren't aware of the situation, Jack Eichel wanted a disc replacement in his neck, and the Buffalo Sabres would not let him have that surgery. I think part of the reason is because I don't think any NHL player has gotten that surgery before, but they wanted him to get a spinal fusion surgery, which I know just from doing a little bit of research today, I learned that the one thing that, number one, Leaf legend Nathan Horton got spinal fusion surgery back in 2014 with the Columbus Blue Jackets, which resulted in him landing on long-term injured reserve, which then got him on the Leafs. That was a surgery that put him out for the rest of his career. And again, I know Jack Eichel's 24 or 25. He's old. He's younger, but this is also a major surgery. Anything in regards to your spinal cord or your neck, I'm not letting people make that decision for me personally. Again, I know that's not how that works. I know the NHLPA, in the CBA, like you're signing a multi-million-dollar contract. The organization you are working for can have some say in the type of surgery you get, but when it comes to, like, again, they were just so adamant on him getting the surgery that they wanted that it resulted in him not being able to get his surgery until he got traded, which is now. So his value just kept sinking and sinking because no one wanted to pay that. And now they took a massive cut to the return they would have gotten on an extremely young franchise center. Just in the main reason it feels like that is just because they were being too petty and they didn't want to, and it was basically just a tug of war, and they were like, okay, you win, see ya.
The Buffalo Sabres have been absolute shit at doing everything on and off the ice for the last 10 years. And this is just another example of it. So don't get me wrong. Eichel is still, in my opinion, a top 5 center in the league. Well, maybe not right now because He's on IR, and I think he just got the disc replacement surgery, or he will get it soon.
He's getting it at the end of this week. At least I think that's what he report. That was being reported. I think either tomorrow or Friday.
Okay, yeah. So he's getting it soon, but when he comes back, whether that's this season or in the Olympics or
it'll be this season.
Whenever he comes back, he's still going to be phenomenal. Like he's going to be world beating. He's going to be the franchise center you want to build your team around. For the Vegas Golden Knights, he's perfect. For the Sabres, what the hell? What are you doing? 2015, they tanked so hard for Connor McDavid, like so hard.
Yeah.
They couldn't even pull that off, which is funny.
Yeah.
Eichel, but you lucked into Eichel. Still, Eichel is amazing on his own. Yeah, Connor McDavid is a generational talent, but you can still build a fucking great hockey squad around Jack Eichel himself. And they blew it, all because they shot themselves in the foot. Like I think the entire the conflict between Eichel's camp and the Sabres was he wanted a specific surgery that hadn't been done on an NHL player before. It's called like disc replacement or whatever it is.
Disc replacement. Yep.
But then the Sabres were like, ooh, I don't know about that one. Seems a little risky. And so because I guess they own Eichel's body, it's weird how this works.
Yeah, no, it's messed up, but it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, we don't want you to risk your career because then we're going to lose our money and then blah, blah, blah. That itself has so many ethical implications on its own. It's like, I don't agree with an organization controlling your for health.
Well, you can bet this is going to be brought up in the next CBA because I think this is the fact that this happened to a young, super talented player. It's this has major future implications. Like, let's say Connor McDavid goes through the same thing. Like, that's your top, that is your best player. And you're seriously going to say, like, if you're the Oilers, you're seriously going to say, oh, no, we don't want you getting spinal fusion. So we don't want you getting disc replacement. We want you to get a spinal fusion. Like,
it's
again, like there's so many ethical problems. You nailed it. Like, there's so many things wrong with that statement. But like, again, like it's like this is the stage of the NHL. Where, like it's so fucking messed up. It's ridiculous. Like, it's crazy.
And so, yeah, I hope this is covered in the new CBA because
it will be. I can say confidently it will be. Like, there's no chance it's not.
Like, how if I was working, and right now I'm working for an employer, and let's say I suffered an injury, they don't get the right to choose what's good for me and what's not. Like, Jack Eichel consulted with, I think, like a second, third opinion when it came to whether or not he should do the surgery, and his squad was like, yeah, you can do it, it should be fine. And I think with a disc replacement, the benefit of it is you don't have to keep getting it reworked or relooked at every few years. With the spinal fusion, I believe you have to get it checked in every now and then. Disc replacement, I believe, is a long-term solution. So it's like a newer kind of surgery. But I mean, if Jack Eichel wanted it, then that's what they should have done, but they didn't. And
well, there's a couple of things, right? So Jack Eichel was given $10 million a season by the Buffalo Sabres. So obviously with that money, you have to comply to at least to some degree to what the organization is asking for. Like, again, that's just how it works. Like, it's your employer. But I would like to think, and again, this is kind of where I have a problem with this. Like, again, I think like you can use that argument to a certain extent, but I think to me, when it comes to health and safety and like rehabilitation and getting my body right, I would think that should be my call. But again, like the other thing, like, and also like I find it difficult, at least trying to put myself into that situation, because I think the other thing we need to realize is that like the Buffalo Sabres also gave Jack Eichel like life-changing money. They gave him $10 million a season for 8 years. He gave him $8 million, $80 million. That's a lot of money. Now, again, like, this is the typical thing, right? People say money can't buy happiness. And again, this is kind of shows you that like that statement's right. Like, like stuff like this happens all the time. Not all the time, but like the fact that this happens here shows that like it probably happens all the time. But look, I'm just really happy for Jack Eichel personally. Well, I'm glad I can root for him now that he's out of the division. That's number one. Number two, like, every day that passed and I didn't have this thing resolved, it just meant another day where he was unhealthy, where he couldn't get the surgery that he wanted. He's basically sitting at home with this problem in his neck. Like neck pain and back pain sucks. Like again, like that stuff can carry on for a very long time. And and I think the other thing that's kind of disappointing to me is because I was genuinely curious to know what the difference was between like a disc replacement and a spinal fusion. Again, based on the names, you can kind of get an idea. And like just hearing like the description of what a spinal fusion is, like I wouldn't put anyone through that. Like where they like for those of you who don't know, spinal fusion is basically where they remove a disc, one of the vertebral discs in your spine / your neck, because it goes all the way up, and they weld the vertebral pieces together with a bone with a bone graft. Like
Wow.
it's gruesome. Like again, like and it's like and if like the fact that you're basically asking a kid to take out a vertebral, like basically you're asking him to change the structure of his body and the makeup of his. It's anyway. This is an argument. This is a discussion for another day. It's just I'm just again the Knights, once they get him back, oh my god, like
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna make it work with the cap, but like that team's gonna be ridiculous. But anyways, like I
Yeah.
think Eichel's in a really good spot. I think again, this is like he's starting a new chapter of his career. He can hopefully put this thing behind him once he gets the surgery. But man, the Buffalo Sabres, I do not know what to tell you. And to the fans, I don't know what to tell you. Like I am so sorry. Like, oh my god.
For any Buffalo Sabres fan listening to this right now, I love you so much. Like, I'm so sorry for everything that you had to go through over the last 10 years, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like
can't even tell you that like times are turning, good things will come to you soon. Because I have no idea what's gonna happen to the Sabres right
you
now.
don't. They haven't made the playoffs since 2011, where they lost in the first round to the Philadelphia Flyers. They've had some good seasons, and they've had some good players like Vanek, Thomas Vanek, Jason Pominville, Cody Hodgson was there, but like again, he's like that. Like, yeah, he sucked. That oh my god, that Cassian for Hodgson trade, I forgot about that. My god. Uh, Ryan Miller was there once. That like Ryan Miller was there for a while. That's fun, but like
Yeah.
since then, like Jack Eichel was probably the only player where they actually had like consistent success in any player, not just like the start like play, like their franchise, but the only player that they've gotten consistent production out of, and they shipped them out of town. Like for those of you who are kind of curious to hear more on the situation, Jack Eichel did a podcast with Spit and Chicklets. Again, I'm not a huge Barstool person. I don't think a lot. I don't think a lot of people are. But like, if you're just looking for more information on more information on the topic, I would definitely give it a listen. It's very interesting and a lot of kind of like, and it was definitely interesting to hear Jack Eichel's perspective on it, as he did hint that he did feel at times that this decision and the whole thing with the surgery was personal. But like again, I think just anytime you like, anyways, it's just such a messy situation right now, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. From the Sabres perspective, so this season they actually started off really well. And a couple episodes ago, Simon and I talked about this too. So
Mm-hmm.
cool. I did not see that coming. Since then, though, this is after Monday, October 25th, where they slapped Tampa 5-1. Very surprising score.
Yep.
Since then, they won 4-3 versus Anaheim. And then they lost 3-2 to LA. They lost 3-5 to San Jose. They lost 5-2 versus Seattle. They lost 4-3 versus Detroit. They lost 5-3 versus Washington. They had 5 losses in a row, and I think they have fallen back down to where we expect them to be.
Again, like, I don't disagree with that statement at all. I still stand by my statement of I don't think this team is going to be anywhere as bad as people were saying they were going to be. They're not going to be like apocalyptic, like end of the world bad.
Like
Are
the
they going to be?
Penguins.
Yeah, like man, or the Canadians apparently they're like 3-10 and something. Like this is like again, are things looking up for the Sabres? Absolutely not. But like like if anything, I just hope they can kind of get at least some enjoyment out of the season, because like man, like the one thing people talk about is like, oh, you could trade Jack Eichel to jumpstart your rebuild, and even when you trade him, you don't jumpstart it. You get Peyton Krebs, who I think he's actually going to be a pretty nice player. When the Knights played the Leafs, Peyton Krebs was playing. He looked like a very explosive player, and I think there's potential there. They sent him down to Rochester to not to fuck with his development. I think it's a good call. But man, like Alex Tuck, he's a good player. I believe he's from upstate New York, so he's home. But like, really? Now again, you could probably say that's probably just to balance out the cap, fine. But like, there's so many other pieces he could have gone back in that trade other than Alex Tuck. Like, I'm sorry, but like,
Yeah.
and those draft picks, like the fourth and the third, basically cancel out, and you get a first round pick. So it's essentially it's essentially Peyton Krebs, a first round pick, and noted cap dump Alex Tuck for Jack Eichel.
Yeah, I don't know why. And the weird thing about this trade was there was no salary retention on Eichel either. What? You would think that a team who is tanking like the Sabres could offer salary retention to help the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Knights would be like, hell yeah, we'll take that.
And then you get a better return because of it. Like what the hell? Like what window are the Buffalo Sabres competing for right now? Like they literally like, and it's not even like the thing is, after they made the trade, they had to go out and get Johnny Boychuk just to reach the cap floor.
Yeah. Oh,
It's like why, like, man, like I'm so confused. Sorry, I'm not confused. Because I can you can just sense the pettiness from here. It literally just feels like the Buffalo Sabres wanted absolutely no trace of Jack Eichel from the organization after they moved him. That's what it feels like, and it feels like they're able to eat a good chunk of the return to make that happen.
what's one word that you would use to describe the Buffalo Sabres?
Horrible, immature, just trash. Like
Yes, I agree with all of those. The one that comes to my mind though is just lost. Like they have no idea what they're doing. They're just floating. They don't know what to do.
It's
Sad.
like
Yeah.
it's actually like when I was okay, when like I actually used to really like the Sabres again. So like when I was younger and the Leafs were awful, the Sabres were actually pretty good. They were like always in the hunt for the playoffs, like the 8th seed, and they had a really couple of exciting couple of years in 2011, 2012. I think 2013 was really the first year they started to go down, but like it was kind of funny, like, oh yeah, I can just take a nice little 2-hour drive to go see the Buffalo Sabres play the Pittsburgh Penguins or something like that. But now it's just like, it just feels like there's a big black hole in the middle of Buffalo. And like, it's just, they've gone through so many general managers, like Tim Murray's gone. Jason Botterill was there. He's gone. Kevin Adams, God, like I can't imagine having to be the GM that takes the Sabres out of this mess. Like there's just, oh my God. I genuinely have no idea what the Pagulas are doing. And the Buffalo Sabres ownership is doing. They are ruining, number one, like one of the most passionate fan bases in the NHL.
Mhm.
And they are single-handedly ruining this team. Single-handedly.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with you there. Can I quickly talk about the conditions on the picks as well?
No, bring those up. Good idea.
So this is on the Sportsnet site. There's an article that I pulled up. It says, so this is the conditional picks that were swapped between the Knights and the Sabres. So it says, if the Golden Knights first round pick in 2022 is not in the top 10, the Sabres get that selection and a Vegas second round pick in 2023, while the Knights get a Buffalo third round pick in 2023. However, if the Golden Knights' first round pick in 2022 is in the top 10, the Sabres get Vegas's first round pick in 2023 and a second round pick.
Oh my God, it's protected too. Oh, how?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
how?
The Knights essentially lottery protected their pick.
That's ridiculous. Oh my God, that's actually ridiculous. I completely forgot about that. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Oh my God.
Like,
Like, how do you not get at least a top 10 draft pick for Jack Eichel?
yeah.
Like,
And dude, I do not expect the Golden Knights to be um
they're not,
bad.
dude.
Not
Like,
gonna be bad.
dude, like, oh my God, this was their missing piece.
Yeah.
This was it. Like, if you look up and down their roster, they're great on the wings. They have a really good defense core. They have a great goalie in Robin Lehner. But every time you look at that roster, the number one problem was they didn't have a number one center.
Mm-hmm.
William Karlsson was great in the expansion year. The first expansion year, he had 40 goals. Was a really good player for them. I think he's been serviceable as of late, and they still have that Riley Smith, Marcia So, William Karlsson line. Yeah, like Chandler Stevenson was riding shotgun with Mark Stone and Max Pacioretty, and they still went to and they've still been ridiculously competitive. You were adding a top 10 talent in the NHL to that lineup at the position they need.
Is it safe to make the comparison that Chandler Stevenson is basically Tyler Bozak when he was on the Leafs?
Yeah, that's actually a really good comparison. I didn't think of it like that. That's a really good comparison. Or Grabowski, take your pick.
Yeah. But
like,
now they have their number one center.
I'm planning on getting a Jack Eichel nice jersey at some point. That is on my list. Like, I will be like, oh my God, like I can't believe I am in shock. I am still in shock. I've been watching Jack Eichel highlights because I was like, okay, like maybe he's just not really like maybe he's like a really good player, but like they just don't value him as like a top 10 player. I was like, nope, that ain't it.
Amazing.
Like, that year where the Sabres went on a 10-game winning streak to start the season off, and people were talking about as an MVP finalist or MVP candidate, rightfully so.
Yep.
It's just mind-boggling to me how they managed to just completely just like ruin this investigation. So not investigation and negotiation. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Negotiation. Oh my God.
Like, what's the most mind-boggling aspect of this to me is you really couldn't get a better return. No other team was willing to give you more than this.
Well, hold on. Give me a second. I need to pull something out because I find it very interesting you mentioned that.
I remember the two teams that were in on Eichel down to the last minute. It was Calgary and Vegas, no?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad you brought that up. Hold on.
If you have Calgary's potential offer.
Yep.
So
I'm looking at yep.
Because I have no idea what it was.
Okay. So this is from Hockey Hound at Hockey Hound Show, and this who is quoting Kevin Weeks, who is a NHL Network insider. I think he's a pretty significant source, very trusted source around the NHL. You're gonna kick yourself after this. Like, I heard about this, and this is why I could not believe the return that they got. Okay, so I'll save the big piece for last. So the Flames are offering a upcoming first round pick, of course, a former first round pick. So like, I'm assuming that means like one of their prospects they just made either this year or last year. Okay. So again, so far we're kind of consistent with the Knights return, right? Yep. Okay. 2 prospects. And there's one piece that I haven't mentioned yet. If you had to guess what the piece is, what would you guess?
Makachuk.
Yep.
Oh, no way.
Yep. Now, again, like, I don't know if that offer was on the table. I don't know what the conditions were. Maybe it's a situation where if they are getting that back, they needed to retain like 50% of Jack Eichel's salary, or like some percent of Jack Eichel's salary. But if that return was on the table at any point during the negotiation for Jack Eichel, I clean house immediately. If I'm the NHL, I get rid of, because again, Kevin Adams knows how good Matthew Tkachuk is. Kevin Adams knows how, like again, we don't know if this is actually on the table. This might have just been a rumor, and okay, fine, so be it. But like, come on. Like again, and I'm happy that trade didn't go through. I don't want Matt Kachuk in the division. We already got one. I don't want two to Kachucks in the division.
True, that's true.
Like, but like, oh,
Yeah, you could have had Chuck.
You're okay. Let me just quickly go over that package again. Okay. So you get 1 first-round pick, a former first-round pick, 2 prospects, and Matthew Tkachuk, who is a borderline superstar in the NHL. At very least, he's an all-star and like very, very good player.
Hey. Alex Tuck. Don't want to disrespect
don't even right now. Don't even right now. Like, oh my god. I'm like I'm in shock, man. Like, this is a player I think a lot of people were talking about as like a top 5 potential player in like 3 or 4 years. And the Sabres just kicked him to the curb like it was like yesterday's garbage. All right, cool. See ya. Oh my god.
It's so bad. If that's what the package was for Eichel from
again
Flames,
like,
there's no excuse.
Like,
what
okay,
what are you doing?
But here's the thing, right? Like, I think a lot of people understand that like the Sabres must like there must be some reason why they didn't take that package. And again, it raised the question of whether or not that package is actually on the table. But like, it seems that like that package is consistent with the type of talent that they would be acquiring. That's why I have a hard time saying that, like, okay, like you're telling me at no point that was on the table ever. Like what was their first what was their first offer then? Okay, we'll give you a 3rd round pick for Jack Eichel. Like,
I have a hard time believing now that I think of it that package from the Flames might have been what you just explained, because so it was Tkachuk, 2 prospects, and 2 first-round picks, basically.
Yep.
For Eichel.
Yep.
That's a lot for Eichel.
Come on. Like, okay.
2 prospects, 2 picks.
Well, number one, we don't know how good those prospects are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. Like, okay. Like, if we're talking about like these are 2 top prospects, 2 guys who were just picked in like the top, like Calgary didn't make the playoffs last year, so I think they had a relatively high draft pick. So if you give them that one, and like again, that's the thing with this, right? Like, prospect is such a broad like term. Like, you don't like I would think if they were like super highly anticipated prospects, they like it would have been noted 2 top prospects. But even then, dude, like we talk about Jack Eichel as a generational talent that never become available, especially when they're in the prime years of their career. The closest one I can think of in my mind recently in terms of like players that are of that caliber at center becoming available is John Tavares when he came to the Leafs when he was 27. I think Jack Eichel's like 23, 24.
Yep. 24, I think.
Like, yeah, like
25.
Like the only like this is like the closest thing I can even think like young superstar talents being in their prime being moved or is in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It's really unfortunate. I think what we can take away from this is, well, I can't take away anything more about the Sabres than what I already knew about. They're shit. I don't see any future for them.
Again,
but I now want to turn to the Vegas perspective of this. Right now, they have
how many? Start the parade down the strip.
They have like
I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
3 or 4. No, you might not know where I'm going with this, but there are 3 or 4 players right now who are basically their top 4 that are all injured. So Mark Stone, Pacioretty, William Karlsson. I don't know if he's back yet.
He's not. He broke his foot. He's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Damn. And then Jack Eichel is out for a few more months.
Yep.
So I don't think they're going to do well in the regular season. I don't have them missing the playoffs right now. I think they'll squeak in, but once they have the whole squad back, oh boy, That's a scary ass looking team. Let me run you through the top four right now. Let me pull
Hold
up
on.
the friendly.
Yeah, okay. Off the top of my head, I know Eichel's making 10. I know Mark Stone's making 9.5. Pacioretty's making 7. Petrangelo's making 8.5.
8.8.
8.8. Okay, 8.8. Leonard's making a pretty reasonable amount, I think. Like 5 mil.
Yeah.
5 mil. You're joking. You're actually joking. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This team is ridiculous. They have Shea Theodore, who they like plucked away from the Anaheim Ducks so that they would take so that the Knights would take Shea Theodore. So not Shea Theodore. Clayton Stone. I think it was Clayton Stoner from the Anaheim Ducks. Like, oh my god. Oh, like March. Oh my god. That team is so stacked. Oh. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
They have $15 million in cap space left today, as of today. So
Yeah, I know.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
November 10th, 2021. And on their injured reserve, $27 million.
I was gonna do the math. Damn, I was gonna do the math. Damn it.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
27 million on their IR right now. Holy shit. So, okay. Off the top of my head, I don't know if they're going to make any more trades between now and the playoffs, but I could totally see a situation where they pulled the Tampa from last year.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, sorry. The reason I greet that with skepticism more than totally is just this again. I think it's very difficult to do that in the middle of the season where you're just going to be like, okay, like let's like, whereas like let's just say for example they do and like but like they would have to. I don't know how seriously hurt these how bad the injuries are for some of these players, but like they might have to milk a lot of those to get to the end of the season.
Yep.
Whereas with the Nikita Kucherov thing, like they're able to do it in the off season where it was a very kind of discreet thing. I was like, okay, he has a hip problem, he's going for surgery, he's going to be out until the playoffs. Like that's like, again, you can argue whether or not like they actually like took advantage of that. I mean, they obviously did. They obviously went over the cap, but like apparently, like in that season, Nikita Kucherov was skating like in March, like early March. So he probably could have came back. But like again, if you're at that point, why would you? But what I will add though, the one thing I will add, Mark Stone is currently in long-term injured reserve, and from what I've been reading, it sounds like people are uncertain about when he's going to return.
Mm-hmm.
Like. That could be it. That could be your Kucherov.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm pulling up a Mark Stone report right now, and according to CBS Sports, Golden Knights Mark Stone return still not imminent.
There you go. And he's on my fantasy team, so that's just lovely.
Yeah, I mean, once this core four actually unites, you've got essentially
like imagine that first power play unit: Pacioretty, Eichel, Stone, you throw Pietrangelo on the point, and then take your pick of like Riley Smith or Jonathan Marchessault.
Do we think this is the best core four in the league
right now? No, I don't think so. Personally, I like just off the top of my head, I take McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog, Makar over them. I still slightly take the leaps of Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares over them, even though that one is close. I will agree with that. I think it's at least close. I do. Anyways, think about this. Tampa's got to be close. Like Tampa, like you got Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov, Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman. That's a pretty good. Like again, like there's a lot of talent. Like the league is just becoming so top heavy. Where like,
yep.
Okay, name your Arizona Coyotes top 4. Go. Like Jacob Chikrin.
Yeah. Wait, no. He's on the Canadians now. No?
Chikrin? No, that's Dvorak.
Dvorak, sorry. I was getting confused. Yep.
Yep. Chikrin, Kessel.
Kessel.
Like you see it like anyways, I find it very interesting just because like again, like
Hey,
fuck with the Knights so hard now. Oh my god,
how about the Bruins? You got Bergeron, Pasternak, Marchand, Hall, McAvoy.
that's not bad. I this might be a hot take, but I think Bergevin, not Bergevin.
Bergevin.
I have I have Bergeron retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah, 36
I think
years
this is
old.
the 37 UFA at the end of the season. Player with multiple concussion problems early in his career. He's won a cup. He's won a lot of money. It strikes me I think he has a family. He's got nothing to play for, other than just for the love of the game. Olympic gold medalist. You can throw that on top.
Mhm.
Especially if he makes Team Canada. I can just see that being like the perfect, again, I don't have the Bruins winning the cup this year, but I could see this being like the perfect opportunity to kind of for Bergie to kind of go ride into the sunset. But
That's true.
I don't know.
I don't know if Eichel will make it by the time the Olympics come
I
around,
doubt it. I doubt it.
but
So
if he can, that American Olympic roster all of a sudden would look 10 times more dangerous.
yeah.
Because you got Matthews, you got Kane. Say what you want about Kane, still a good player on the ice.
If he gets the surgery on the Friday, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could make it. He could. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So again, so I gathered a lot of the information that I have on the surgery and everything from the report from the interview that Jack Eichel did with Spit and Chicklets. Apparently, from what he I don't know who he talked to. He talked to other people that got the surgeries, talked to medical professionals. Apparently, it's about 6 weeks to get back to skating.
Oh wow, that's quick.
So that is quick. And that was my thought as well, especially when you're talking about a spine/neck injury. Again, I think I part of me thinks that because it is the neck as opposed to the actual the thoracic and lumbar spine, that might be a reason why. But if he again, let's just assume he gets the surgery this coming Friday on the 12th. So that means the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 weeks would be Christmas Eve on the dot.
Wow.
So I don't know when the winter games start. I assume it's in February or late January, but there's definitely a window for him to make it. I just think the only question is how accurate is that 6-week window, and what if he has any potential setbacks or he's not recovering as quickly as he initially thought. My money is on him. My money is on him not playing, but
If he can make it, watch out, world. The American Olympic.
Yeah, but
nasty.
The thing I was thinking about is the thing I was thinking about though was, do you want him playing if you're Vegas?
True.
And the other thing is how good is Jack Eichel gonna be? He will not have played hockey in almost 2/3 of a year.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I just think it's a lot of pressure to kind of throw him into the Olympics as basically his training camp, really.
Yep.
Again, if he can get there and he can be healthy and he can play really good hockey, I'm all for it. Just because I think, hey, this is why you let the NHL players go to the Olympics. You wanted to see the best players in the world compete for their country and play for their country. But if not, I just worry about his long-term health. That's all.
I'm gonna go through one more thing about the Golden Knights here before we wrap.
Oh no, yeah.
I'm gonna. You might know where I'm gonna go with this one, but I'm gonna list you a bunch of names.
Oh, fuck.
I want you to tell me what they have in common. Thomas Tatar.
I know where we're going with this. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Thomas Tatar, Eric Holla, Colin Miller, Nikita Gusev, although Gusev is not good. Cody Eakin, Malcolm Subban, Paul Stastny, Nate Schmidt, Marc-Andre Fleury, Ryan Reeves, Alex Tuck, Peyton Krebs. You can make a kick-ass roster with those names alone.
Could you ever?
What do they have in common?
I'm going to go with my gut here because I think this thing I've brought up on multiple occasions, but are these players that were extended by the Knights and then traded?
Whether they were extended or acquired, basically the Vegas Golden Knights did with these players was they had them, and then they discarded them like garbage. They're like, we don't want you anymore.
Mhm.
And so you can go first.
Okay, here's my thing. I want to because again, I've been banging this drum for a very long time. I was banging this drum when they signed Pietrangelo because I think when they signed Pietrangelo, this was the first instance of where like people were noticing what was going to have to happen. Because they were like the Leafs in the sense that like they were interested in Pietrangelo, but they didn't have the cap space, and there was no market for him because he just happened to be, again, this isn't his fault, but like he was a free agent in the offseason of the global pandemic, so it was a flat cap. Owners did not want to spend a lot of money, but the Vegas Golden Knights said, we're going to be the team to go get Alex Pietrangelo. He's a very good defenseman. I don't blame them. I wish the Leafs got him, to be honest with you, over Tyson Barrie, but that's another story for another day. But like, this is just a trend they can't keep up. If they do, like, again, I know people talk about how great the atmosphere is and how great the fans are, and like, oh my god, hockey in Vegas is so much fun, but like, it's now getting to the point where if you're not in the top 3 or 4 players in terms of their cap, in terms of the cap percentage, you have no idea how long you're going to be in Vegas for. Like,
True. Yep.
And I think especially in the case of Nate Schmidt, I think they just extended him like a year before and they traded him like the next year. Again. And like, look, I understand that hockey is a business, or the NHL is a business, and this happens in the business. But at some point, I would think you would have to at least show some like empathy or some moral high ground and be like, okay, like we just extended this guy. Isn't it a bit wrong to kind of ship him off to Vancouver for literally like just so we can for literally a bag of pucks to clear cap space for Alex Pietrangelo?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. I honestly, is it weird for me to already be questioning how long Jack Eichel will remain on the Vegas Golden Knights, even though he just moved?
I would be more curious. Like the one I'm curious about is Max Pacioretty. He was a guy that they were trying to move last year and they couldn't move him. Why? Because of the cap hit. Like it looks like Vegas is always looking out for the bigger and the better, the next and greatest, without really considering their current position, which maybe they should, because it's kind of getting them into trouble. But
I just want to remind you, the Vegas Golden Knights, so Thomas Tatar, after 7 months of acquiring him for a second, a first, and a third. So they spent a first, second, and third to get Tatar. Then they traded Tatar away to the Canadiens with Suzuki. So they gave Suzuki away for Max Pacioretty.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Oh my god.
So let's all remember here, the Vegas Golden Knights, they want their eyes on the shining object all the time. They're like, ooh, what's that shiny, glowy player? I want him. I want him now.
They're goldfish. They're literally the goldfish. Like you put your finger on the tank and all the fish come follow you. Like, man.
Yep. And they will do whatever they want to get that shiny object on their roster.
I forgot Suzuki was there. Yeah. Oh, could you imagine if they had Eichel and Suzuki? Oh my god.
Yeah. So crazy stuff. I think the Vegas Golden Knights, once they have everyone back on their roster, they're going to be next to unstoppable.
They're my cup. They're my cup favorites. Like honestly, like they are my cup favorites. Like I had the Avalanche and the Cats in the cup final. I am saying hell nah. Jack Eichel cup run, baby. Oh,
and Vegas Golden Knights fans are so damn spoiled. My God, you have everything.
Yeah.
How fun would it be to go to Vegas though one day? I so badly want to go to Vegas just to see a game. I feel like it's so much fun.
Yeah, my friend's going, I think.
Oh, you lucky motherfucker.
I'm so jealous. I wish I'm going. It's okay. I have my eyes set on the outdoor game. That's all.
That's true. Hamilton versus the Sabres. Oh my God. If we lose.
They're gonna lose. They're going to lose. I will put money on it right now. Book it. Sabres. I'm taking the over 3.5. Like they are gonna destroy the Leafs.
3.5.
Nationally televised game, outdoors, biggest game of the year for the Leafs and for the regular season. They're just gonna completely blow it. I've seen this before.
God damn it. Well, I'm still gonna go. If I have some tickets, might as well. Anyway,
Me too.
That's all we wanted to cover for today. I think I had some random tidbits as well from this week. One of them was, let me quickly pull it up if I can quickly highlight this over the next minute.
Oh yeah, sorry. I want to throw out there, Bob Murray, executive for the Anaheim Ducks, is put on administrative leave for basically unprofessional workplace behavior.
Good.
And from what I'm reading, it sounds like it is due to basically verbal abuse. It sounds like he's a dick. He's an asshole. So good for the Ducks to do that investigation steps. But yeah, so Bob Murray is going to go bye-bye for a little bit.
That's good. Finally, someone's taking advantage of admin leave. Coyotes, weird thing I noticed. Someone made a tweet. Oh, sorry, Spit and Chicklets tweeted this actually. Or made an Instagram post about this. 2017-18, Coyotes start the season 0-10-1, claim goalie Scott Wedgwood on waivers, and in Wedgwood's first game, he gets Coyotes their first win. 2021-2022, Coyotes start season 0-10-1, claim Wedgwood on waivers, and in his first game, they get their first win. Funny how that worked out. There was also a tweet from the Utica Comets. I don't know if anyone noticed this, but they...
Oh my God. This is so bad. This is so bad.
During the game, I believe Utica was versing the Canadiens AHL affiliate team.
Laval.
I don't know the name.
Laval Rocket.
And they tweeted mid-game saying, "Yo, at Cole Caulfield, are you here? Everyone keeps saying you are, but we haven't noticed. Did you not play in today's game?" And then they deleted the tweet shortly after.
Apparently, Cole Caulfield's dad was not too happy about that. From what
I would not be happy about that either. And then last thing, Toronto's 10 goals. Last 10 goals. I think this was posted on November 6th. So it was a few days ago. But, I mean, since then, it's only been the LA game and nothing happened there. Tavares, Marner, Matthews, Nylander, Tavares, Matthews, Tavares, Marner. And then in LA, it was Tavares, right?
Tavares, yep. Tavares from Marner, or Tavares from it was a power play goal. So I think it was Tavares from Nylander and Marner or something like that, or Tavares.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
So those are the Leafs' last 15 goals. They lost 5-1, but at least now we know the core is clicking, so that's good.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Yeah. Well, you know how this works, right? Everything's happy now, and then it's going to be apocalyptic next week. So
yeah.
Stay tuned.
We'll see what happens. Okay.
Oh my God.
Let's put a pin there. Thank you for listening. Oh, one more thing. We're gonna do 2 a week now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we will now be recording, I believe, on Monday and Wednesdays. That's very exciting. We're bumping it up to twice a week, hopefully to help our stuff stay relevant. To avoid what happened last week where we didn't cover the Jack Eichel stuff until like a week later, but that's okay. So make sure you subscribe to the Taxi Squad Twitter and Instagram. And
one last thing.
Oh Lord, yes.
Go to simonyon.substack.com. Check it out.
Shit, he plugged my shit. Damn, let's go.
I don't know if you know him, but really cool guy. He made a Substack recently. I think it's really worth a read. I fucking love the article. So go check it out.
Bro. Appreciate you.
Put it in the description below.
Damn. Thank you. Let's go.
Yeah.
Read it. Subscribe to my Substack, maybe. Who knows? I'm treating it as my athletic. There you go.
Oh, it will be. One day it'll be better.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's stop there. See you guys soon. Bye.
Yeah.